From what I understand, what I've got for you today is gonna be one of the most painful games of StarCraft 2 that we'll ever get to watch. This particular match was recently sent over by a viewer, and it was selected by Motlisis, who mentioned that apparently this game, it really hurt him. Now, in case you're unfamiliar, Motlisis, he checks out all of the games that are sent over, and then he selects the very best ones for me to go ahead and cast. He literally has seen thousands of games at this point, and apparently this one is particularly painful. So, it's time for a Silver League match of Terran versus Terran, where we find ourselves on Neo-Humanity. Spotting right here in the top left-hand corner, playing with the red Terran SCVs, we have a Brett, excellent nickname. His opponent, going right here for a very cursed supply depot with the blue SCVs, and also a bit of a strange GLHF, I guess? I'm not entirely sure what to make of that. We're looking inside of the main base of JJ JJ, Heroes of Might and Magic. Okay, he's gone for a barracks right over here on the scouting path. Ooh, and now he's going for the gas geyser? So this is no, that's gotta be a second barracks. That makes absolutely no sense. That's a high-yield Vespian geyser, so it gives you twice the amount of gas income. The only problem is that you still need to, well, send that gas back to your command center, right? So you can mine it, but it's gonna be incredibly inefficient. He does start it up. Fairly sure that's a misplay, but I'm not exactly sure what to expect. Barracks over here in the back of the main base too. One SCV already on strike. We've got double gas coming up, but no SCV production. This raid will probably be hitting a supply block momentarily too. So he's gone for a whole lot of gas, but nothing that actually costs gas. Okay. Anyways, what exactly do we have right here for Brett? Also going for a lot of gas, but this reminds me a little bit more of a standard Terran versus Terran opener. Maybe not entirely optimized. I mean, that second depot, lack of commands. Right, there's a couple of things that would be a little bit, yeah, a little bit painful to watch. But here's the first Marine that shows up right here on the side of the Terran player in red. He has, however, gone for a Reaper. So this should be okay. There you go. Throw the grenade as... Sorry, I gotta go back. He threw the grenade right there at... The SCV died. That guy didn't need to die, dude. That was really mean. Sorry, that's gotta be one of the funniest That's one of the funniest interactions I've seen in a while. Either way, even though the supply depot SCV did die, he stopped producing, actually. Brett, you should really make another unit. Mr. Brett. Okay, he starts up a Reaper right now. Just make a Hellion, dude. No, we really don't need a tech lab. A tech lab is okay. Anyways, luckily for him, it's only a single barracks over here. There is another one in the back of the main base, but that one is not actually producing. SCVs are pulled away from their jobs, but they can't actually protect this because he made the full wall up over here. Reaper is, however, going to be available very soon. I'm assuming there's going to be a Cyclone or a Siege Tank or... Did the Marine just squeeze through, but the SCVs couldn't? Interesting. There should probably be something coming out of the factory here momentarily, so I've got a feeling... Yeah, everything is gonna be a-okay, but I mean, there's no denying that the income here has been hurt quite a bit. Because Mr. Brett, I mean, he didn't have his workers mining there for a little while. Anyways, orbital command is done. We still have that one SCV on strike. We still have a barracks over here with another SCV right next to it too. And we've got the one... I don't know what this refinery's doing here. He's got money to make a command center, and I honestly wouldn't hate it at this point, just to see that cash go down a little bit. Anyways, Siege Tank's coming up. Starport also coming up over here for our Terran player in blue. I'm really liking this position for Brett quite a bit better. I've got a feeling that JJ is just gonna send in more and more units. He's gone for a starport right now at home as well. Is that why we're making all this gas? Are we... I don't know, dude. This is the longest journey ever, especially considering it didn't fully saturate that one gas over here on the right side. It makes, well, I mean, it makes no sense in the first place anyways. Anyhow, are we gonna spend that gas on big flying Terran units? What is that? Really? Okay. That's a bunker, by the way, in case you were also wondering what's happening there. I was maybe expecting a fusion core or something like that. There is indeed a fusion core coming up. Okay, so this is the infamous Proxy Refinery build. where, yeah, you try to, steal as much gas over here as possible. You try to extract as much of it as you can, because later on, right, JJ Hom, dude, we are playing 2023 StarCraft 2, but JJ Hom, he's way ahead of the meta. He's thinking about this game going the distance, about a full split map scenario. He's like Doctor Strange. He can see many different futures, right? And he knows that this, little bit of gas that he stole out of the refinery is ultimately gonna make the difference in this particular match. This guy, man, he's way ahead of the meta. Okay, we have a Reaper fighting a Reaper over here. I do believe the Reaper in blue got the first hit in. Easy win right there. He could have gotten out, but he didn't. And even though this will all be killed eventually, nice little bit of stutter step micro for no apparent reason. I love the stutter stepping with 1,000 resources in the bank. It's my okay. Anyway, we've got ourselves a Raven coming up right here for Brett. Yeah, he's already got one. And you know what? Ravens are pretty good against battlecruisers if you can disable them in time. Now that's the big if. This is a spellcaster, right? You may not think it, but this is like a flying Harry Potter right over here. This guy definitely went to Hogwarts, okay? It's a flying magician, and you do have to make sure you control it properly. One battlecruiser. He's going for a medevac on the back of this. I guess he can load SCVs into it. He's got, yeah, one SCV right over here in the bunker too. The guy that went to strike, by the way, went back. Anyhow, this battlecruiser, when it pops, it should be able to kill everything. There's no interference matrix energy anymore on this Raven, so I don't see exactly what Brett is going to be able to do against this. Nah, he's just going to lose everything. Okay, that's the strat. We really should gun down the Raven here, because that's a very... Okay, that's a very valuable unit, is what I was trying to say. Anyways, both players actually doing a pretty decent job spending their money. Now, for what it's worth, JJ Hom doesn't have a lot of income. So, you know, spending your money is a little bit easier. He should really power out some units that can actually contest this battlecruiser, though. So, I believe there is a second Raven out, right? So, technically speaking, yeah, he's gonna have interference matrices. Now, does he know that that is an ability? That's my main question, honestly. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Yes! There you go. Nice. I mean, it's only 2 Marines right now. But being able to disable the BC is kind of nice. Now, obviously, the BC will be able to unlock tactical jump again eventually. There's a second one. Let's go, Brett. Cyclone available. Getting the lock on. Okay. He's actually going to kill this battlecruiser, isn't he? I mean, he doesn't have, he doesn't have interference matrix available anymore here, but luckily for him, the battlecruiser didn't have the ability to jump out there, and this makes the game even more awkward than it already was. JJ Hom has got another battlecruiser coming up. He's gone for the little fusion core dance over here as well, so that's nice. That means he's researching the weapon refit, which allows those battlecruisers to shoot Yamato guns. The problem is, Brett is actually playing a pretty decent game here. I mean, decent with a little asterisk right next to it, but this looks a lot more like what we consider to be the standard. Obviously, there's a lot of room for improvement, but yeah, he's noticeably quicker here than his opponent. 104 average actions per minute, not bad whatsoever. Don't lose both of those, that would kind of suck. Okay, here we go again. We're going for another move. Let's go, Brett. I'm still a little bit confused about the Proxy Refinery, though. What in the world was that Proxy Refinery all about? Auto turret thrown to the floor, too? JJ Hom, you gotta teleport across right now, buddy. Or you can repair it. That's also an option. But I'm looking right here at the fire. Well, actually, there's not that much anti-air. The Cyclone being, I guess, the scariest unit. There's another Viking coming up over here right now for our player in blue as well, but... Okay. Yes. Yes. Target fire down the other... No. Target the Viking. Target the Viking. There's another Viking with the interception. Very nice to have. There are, however, a group of Marines available right now. There is a group of Marines available here. There are Marines out on the map, and... yeah, that's not enough. That's not enough to contest this. Now, the front of the battlecruiser opens up. You see that? That is the weapon refit finishing up. Yes, there is a graphical change between battlecruisers that have that upgrade and battlecruisers that don't. This blew my mind when somebody pointed this out like 8 years ago. I was like, what? Battlecruisers look... Okay, I'm gonna show you, okay? Look at the battlecruiser's nose. Look at the nose of the battlecruiser. There's gonna be at least one person's one person's mind that's gonna be blown. You see it? That was the weapon refit right there finishing up. Now it's got a little well, I guess a spot right here for the Yamato cannon to fire right through the center, man, right down the barrel. Yeah. Okay, so where are we at? JJ is super dead. This man has got more SCVs on idle than he's got SCVs mining right now, which is a little bit of a shame. He could drop a couple mules. He's got one in a bunker over there. There's another one over there. There's, okay, yeah. Why are we not, no? Okay, JJ, buddy. I don't think he's seen it. Yeah, StarCraft's a hard game. It's very easy to, what was that medevac for, by the way? I think it was probably a misclick, something along those lines. Okay, here's Brit, coming across the map once more. And honestly, at this point, I don't really see an answer anymore. He's gonna need to repair that battlecruiser at the very least. Yeah, that's exactly what he decides to do right now. The problem is that he just doesn't have enough units. Brad, what are you doing, buddy? Brad, where? Brad. Brad is making 100% sure that everything is taken care of. This man is double crossing his T's, double dotting his I's. They're now entirely different letters, completely unnecessary. But I think he's just checking all future expansions too. This is the cyclone of a man who's been proxied one too many times. He found a base somewhere out on the map and he lost the game because of it. Probably looked at the replay and realized, dang it, that makes more sense than what I was expecting so far. I think that also is a good indicator though of what Brett is thinking about right now. He's probably thinking, yo, what's going on in this game? What was up with that Proxy Refinery? Maybe that's why the Proxy Refinery was made. Again, we're out here playing 2023 StarCraft, but JJ Hom is way ahead of the meta. At this point though, I mean, he's got a nice Yamato cannon, but it gets denied. And at this point, he just doesn't have enough stuff, and I think that is going to be the end for him in this particular game. A very creative strategy, to say the least. But there can only be one winner, and that winner is Brit. Making that dough, you know? You know what? I don't even think that game was that painful. Maybe I've just casted too many of these viewer-submitted games over the years, but actually, I think I've seen worse. Yeah, that was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed that. So what I've got for you next, maybe this one is going to be a little bit worse, or better, whatever your, preference is. Worse can be really good. Is another game, and this time around, it's a Silver League match of Protoss versus Terran, where we find ourselves on Babylon. Now, spawning here in the top left-hand corner, playing with the red Protoss pieces. That color is red, Loco. It's important to know. We're looking inside of the main base of a barcode. Really, a barcode with a clan tag in Silver League. His opponent in the opposite corner. With the blue Terran SCVs, he goes by the name of Cow Happy. Barcodes, just on the off chance you're unfamiliar at this point, they became very popular back in the early days of StarCraft 2 when players were trying to hide their strategies and their IDs and whatnot. Say, for example, you're playing in, well, tournaments, right? You would probably prefer that your opponent doesn't know that you played against them yesterday on the ladder, right? Like, if you're trying to hide strategies, it's one of the easiest ways, well, to do it, right? So they used to be very popular to a lesser extent these days, but you still see them all the time. In Silver League, however, with a clan tag, so you can still be identified easy peasy. I've never been a fan of barcode accounts, actually. Personally, I think the StarCraft 2 ladder is a very lonely place. Blizzard has never done a particularly good job of making StarCraft 2 a social experience. And barcodes just make it even more lonely, right? Like, one of the very few interactions that you have in StarCraft 2 when you're playing 1v1. Ooh, what is that? A Proxy Nexus? What was I saying? Oh, right, yeah, one of the very few interactions you have in StarCraft 2 when you're playing 1 versus 1 on the ladder is, repeatedly playing against the same people, right? And barcodes kinda, yeah, destroy that, which, for a very lonely game, makes the game even more lonely. Anyhow, what in the world are we doing? So, I have seen Proxy Nexus before. A Proxy Nexus can be very powerful. It's even been played every once in a while at a decently high level. The idea, however, is that you recall units towards the Nexus. So, a Nexus, when it finishes, spawns with 50 energy, which is exactly what you need for a mass recall. So, say for example, there would be a large group of Zealots waiting right over here to be recalled. He could recall them into the Terran's main base, and at that point, he could probably win the game. The issue is, Mr. Barcode here has got no units. He's got 1 Zealot right now. Also though, Cow Happy has not actually gone for a bunker or anything along those lines. He's hitting a pretty major supply block right now too. No supply depots started up just yet, so this is about to get really awkward. Yeah, he starts up a depot right now, but that is going to be ages until it finishes up. Are we even going to recall? Oh no, did we just make a Nexus and then did nothing with it? This game is already more painful than the previous one, even though both players are definitely, well, a little bit of a higher skill level. We're gonna recall the probes? Okay, 2 zealots and like 8 probes inside of the Terran's main base. And you know what? I actually believe it to be enough. The probes actually do manage to get a wraparound. They think they're playing Warcraft 3 there for a second, surrounding the heroes right there of the Terran player. We don't have a forge or anything like that, so I'm not sure why we're making so many pylons. Maybe just to pile on the pressure. Okay, no, sorry. Loads of SCVs are going down though. I was thinking maybe forge into photon cannons. That would sound like a very Silver League kind of build order to me, but this is working out way better than I thought, man. Those probes, they probably all have at least 1 confirmed kill. Ocean's 11 over here, man. Or I guess it was like 8 pro. Ocean's 10. There were like, you know, 10 members to this insane heist of the Terran's main base. Still not enough, though. No. Terran still has mules. Second command center is also done. I actually prefer this situation. Well, I guess there's a second Nexus done too, but I actually prefer this situation right now, yeah, for our Terran player. So just because of the fact that he's got mules and he's making Marines, Marines are pretty good units, right? Yeah, I like this position quite a bit. I mean, not quite a bit. I like it somewhat. I'm decently okay with the current position of the Terran. Anyways, warp gates are gonna finish up. I guess he's got pylons instead of his opponent's main base. Where are you gonna, yeah, he's gonna warp in units. Okay, so he's warping in 3 zealots inside of his opponent's main base. Fair enough. Marines can be microed against this. Oh god, slow warp-ins really take forever, don't they? Does he have vision of this? Oh, he doesn't. Cow Happy doesn't actually know. Imagine if he made a bunker. Anyways, that time has passed, I guess, a little while ago. Suddenly there's a bunch of zealots in the main base. I don't know if zealots normally win against like 10 Marines. 3 zealots, that is. But they seem surprisingly powerful. Okay, so we're just gonna expand behind this like nothing happened. With a little bit of optimization, I think the barcode player here would have won easy peasy. If he would have, oh god, we're warping in a sentry? 2 sentries. They're not very good. They're gonna tickle SCVs at best. They don't do really any damage. Again, spellcasters, man. These guys didn't, well, these are probably the Hufflepuffs of Hogwarts, okay? The Ravens are probably Slytherins, if I were to put them in a house. I think that, yeah, no, these guys are pretty trash, I'm not gonna lie. Sorry for any Hufflepuffs out there, but seriously. If I ever go to Hogwarts, I get my letter and I get put into Hufflepuff, on the first train back home. This is bad though, man. Yeah, he just keeps warping in more and more units. Oh, I've been waiting for my letter for like, oh god, 19 years at this point. I'm 30. God, I'm getting old, man. I'm growing all kinds of gray hair as well. I just realized yesterday, I mean, I already sort of knew this, but I realized properly yesterday when my girlfriend took a picture, that I've got a lot of gray hair. I've got a lot of gray hair on the side of my head. Maybe I just need to get a haircut though. That's probably it. I probably have had this for a while, but I haven't gotten a haircut in a little bit. And I'm pretty sure it's been there for a while, but now that it's a little bit longer, it just is more obvious. I asked my dad when he started growing gray hair, rather. He's like, yeah, I think I was like 40, maybe 45. I'm like, Dad, what? How am I? Anyways. Cow Happy is in a totally playable spot right now. The problem is that our barcode has been happily macroing up. This isn't a very sophisticated strategy right here, but he's just got a bunch of gateways. He's making a bunch of units. He's prioritizing probes. He's chrono boosting workers. There's no tricks to this Protoss army anymore, other than, I guess, the Proxy Nexus. But as far as the unit comps go, yeah, it's all very basic. Now, we're making an awful lot of zealots. Or, sorry, these are not zealots. We're making an awful lot of sentries. I think the only reason we make those sentries is because he took a gas geyser so early, but he went for a build that only requires minerals. So he just sort of has... Oh god. He sort of just has a lot of gas and he decided to spend it right here on sentries. Sentries by themselves do very little, but if you combine them with like charge slots, for example, or archons, or, you know, anything else, I do think they can deal quite a bit of damage. The problem is... get the mule to mining, please. There you go, buddy. Good. The problem right here is that Cow Happy is going for a very basic unit comp himself as well. And I certainly do favor any unit composition that has the Marine in it. I think Marines are pretty fantastic units, especially with Stimpack. Now, keep in mind, there's no medevacs or anything like that, so... yeah, it's not like he can really heal these units up, but he is definitely going to be able to take down, like, 6 of those sentries with ease. So where are we going to go from here? This game is actually now turning into a macro game, which is hilarious to me. I guess this is a good moment to point out that if you have an awesome game of StarCraft 2 that you've recently played, you can submit it to a replays at LowkoTV. Please only send your very best, as in your very craziest, because I do enjoy casting the crazy games primarily. And I think that those are the ones that Motless primarily, well, recommends for me to go ahead and cast. I mean, it's fun to watch regular games of StarCraft 2 too, but whenever there's like normal strategies being played, like a standard game, but at a lower level, I don't think it's as interesting, because if you want to watch standard games, we may as well just watch the pro games, right? So if you have a crazy game of StarCraft 2, maybe some cheeses we've never seen before, or some really spicy games that you've played, definitely make sure to send them over so I can make fun of your games next. Now, I'll try and be nice, okay? I'll try and be nice, but sometimes it's hard, okay? Sometimes it's difficult for me to be nice. I'm in a good mood today, though, so I guess I'm being pretty nice. I wonder if there's a correlation. As soon as, like, I am in a pretty sour mood myself as well, which happens. Not very often, but it certainly happens. Turns out I am human. I wonder if my commentary also just, you know, becomes more mean. It probably does, actually. I feel like my patience for terrible strategies that just don't work at all. It grows thinner the less I've slept. If I've slept like 5 hours, you're gonna get some salty commentary, I'm pretty sure. Anyhow, we've got about a dozen, give or take a dozen, shield batteries over here. Terran hasn't quite figured out yet where the main base of the opponent is, but he's gonna walk up the ramp. Charge is going to finish up, +1 is going to finish up as well, but it's not done yet. With good force fields though, there's definitely a chance for the Protoss player to kill this. Stimpack? No, those... What? He gave you the best force fields ever! What in the world? Why did you run? I know force fields look scary, but he basically shielded the zealots away from your units that can shoot at range. Yeah, more sentries. That's what we need. Yeah, no, I was thinking slicing that in half. What are we doing? Hello, where are we going? Oh, this is how we expand now? Okay. This is not the preferred way of doing expansions in StarCraft 2, but fair enough. I actually don't know who wins this. I have no clue. I mean, the Sentry army really surprises me a little bit. We're now up to 12 sentries. He's got more sentries than other units combined, if you don't count the probes anyways. Ah, jeez. He's gonna get destroyed, isn't he? I've got a feeling that he's gonna get absolutely destroyed here in a moment. It's gonna be a sad day. Everybody's gonna cry. Not you guys, though. You guys will hit this, you know, the subscribe button, the like button, and all that to pay your respects to whatever's gonna happen in this upcoming battle, right? That's what you guys do, right? I tried. Not very good at this selling out thing. But if you do enjoy the content, I try to post new videos on this channel pretty much every day. You should subscribe so you get notified as soon as I go, you know, upload another one. I mean, you don't have to. But you can. Photon cannons are coming up right now. He doesn't know about the base, but he figured, okay, this is most likely the location where my opponent is going to expand to next. He's got +1, combat shields, and Stimpack. They're all a little bit late, but at the very least, he's got a good set of upgrades, whereas for our barcode player here, that's not the case. And once again, Cow Happy is hitting, assuming he attacks right now, right before the photon cannons would at least finish up. Maybe, potentially. I actually don't know how this fight is gonna go if he walks his entire army into 5 photon cannons on top of this tremendously powerful sentry army. Okay, no, this is the last thing you want to do. Okay, well, the man's fond of force fields. I think CowHappy could easily win these fights if he were to be committed a little bit more. But he seems to be horrified of seeing the sentry. Oh my god, he warps in even more. How many sentries are we on? 7 sentries have gone down. We're currently at 14, so we're at 21 sentries. This is probably the worst unit in the game right now. It's hard to say. I actually don't think sentries are bad. They're kind of neglected, I guess, a little bit. Their guardian shields are amazing. There's obviously tons of games that are won because of the force fields, but they do feel like they lack that oomph, right? There's not really that much spice that you have coming out of these sentries if you compare it to like infestors or vipers. I'm not really even sure if you should really have a buff to the sentry either, because yeah, no, that's a discussion for another time. I do think sentries are just a little bit of an ordinary spellcaster, right? Nobody really gets excited about seeing sentries anymore. He is making so many of them, though. 21 sentries. Sentry DPS is actually horrendous. It's really bad. They tickle units to death, really. Like, literally, they don't really deal damage. So I'm a little afraid that this army is gonna... Oh. I mean, you can hallucinate a lot of stuff. I've got a feeling it's just gonna... Oh god. It's just gonna die to the siege tank, isn't it? Well, now CowHappy is forced to take a fight. This guy's force fielding everything! This game is way more painful than the previous one, by the way, Motless is. Okay, yeah, that's all the sentries going down. In the meantime, there's a medevac drop as well in the natural expansion of our Protoss player. And I think that just sealed the deal. I think if he would have just... Yeah, Archon Zealot Sentry would have been really nice. Or even just Archon Zealot would be awesome. I mean, he made charge, but then he had like 3 Zealots. Now we got 7 High Templar, not really doing that much. They don't have the Storm research, do they? No, he doesn't have Storm, so this guy doesn't have a friend. The other guys decided to merge together. Medevac drop now continues in the main base. CowHappy's got a gajillion resources in the bank right now, but I don't think he really needs it. I think he's got enough army right now to 9 additional gateways, by the way, coming up north. That, I guess, explains why suddenly our Protoss player here can no longer warp in reinforcements. That one, okay, guy who couldn't find friends, apparently he decided to commit Sudoku right there by running straight into the Terran's army. Maybe not ideal. Actually, Loko, it's supposed... No. It's Sudoku, guys. That's how it works. Anyways, that's a lot of Archons. This man is a fan of gas. He's a very gassy man. I would love it if this is a Protoss win, but I just don't see it happening. Nah, there's no way. I would love that, because, you know, he's been playing the craziest and the most exciting strategies here. But it turns out the standard is pretty good for a reason, right? We've got Marines, Marauders, a single medevac, a couple of siege tanks, a random Cyclone, because I think he misclicked. He meant to make a 3rd siege tank, but he accidentally made this. I think he can just go and win the game if he stims up that ramp right now. And then again, CowHappy does have a gajillion resources in the bank. He's got only 5 barracks here, which is honestly not enough, especially when your macro isn't perfect. But here we go. Yeah, this should be the final battle of this game. There's nothing really remaining right here for our Protoss player. Okay, that Archon, it desperately tries to hold the entire Terran army at bay, but I've got a feeling that this is pretty much it. I mean, the game may very well go on for a little bit longer, but I just don't see how Protoss is ever going to be able to win this. Now he warps in a bunch of Zealots, by the way. He should have done Archons and Zealots earlier. But hey, I guess this serves as a good reminder that, yeah, fighting with sentries, it's not the best choice you can make in a game of StarCraft 2.